Way to go, guys. You all of you were in D&D. Who's still in this call?
I am.
You were in D&D. Are you happy with yourself?
Yeah.
Wait, Lily, are you still
I've
here?
never been
Oh,
happy.
You're a fucking moron.
I know.
Oh
How
my
mad are you,
God.
Lily?
Okay. I have my opinion on what should happen. I think I think the show. So okay, I'm just gonna give my honest take, like more or less, like without creating a lot of drama. This may be your opinion. I hope you guys are having fun. I think the show is untenable with both of them on it, and that the show either needs to end or like something needs to happen there. That's like basically my take, and like let me explain why. So my vision on GT&C is like, and it's just like my vision overall on Dungeons and Dragons, which is like, I think you're playing towards like a narrative arc, right? Like you're trying to create a viewership experience that's like consistent for the players, the DM, as well as the people watching. And if the entire objective of the show is like, okay, let's do memes and let's do content, then I think that we should just state that, and that should be the show. But if we're going to do like D&D, where like we have a professional DM, right, whose job it is to create like a persistent world, monsters in that world, characters in that world, and we're gonna approach it this way, I think that like something fundamental has to change about the composition of the party, or just like the way that there's an interaction, or there's no way to continue the show. My personal vote is to either solve that or end the show, I think. And like I've always, so like a lot of people said like I didn't really do anything this episode, and it's because I don't know what to do, right? I was in a really difficult position where if I picked sides, so what Gerald would do out of character, like Gerald's a powerful wizard at this point. He's seen a lot of stuff. Like he can handle himself, right? Like on his own. And like he would never stay in this party. He would just leave. And then he would go like to a wizard tower, read books, chill out. Like maybe he would go back to the queen and like join her party and like do greater stuff. Like there would be tons of stuff that Gerald would do like in character. Out of character, I've never really been able to support like a PvP based campaign. And I've also never been like a really big fan of like just like this like kind of playstyle. So I don't know like what to do. So like I didn't really have an option, because the only option was like for Gerald to leave, or like I had the power to blow up like everything, right? Like I could really easily have killed the whole party. And or you know, just done whatever. I mean, Gerald had like every decision, right? But because I had every decision, I had no decision. I think because of like the drama that would go on if I actually literally said what I think, I can't say it, but I think anyone that knows me well enough knows my position on this, especially people that are like in my Discord community or like know me, know what I would probably want to have happen. But I you know, it's not really appropriate online. I think like the way that how the problems are being caused in the party is super obvious. It's very obvious, right? And whatever happens there, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not up to me. It's not my show. I think if Destiny and Luca is supposed to stay on the show and like the show decides to continue, like unless there's like some kind of change, like I'll probably leave. But that's like really, it's really tentative. I don't know. I think there's only one way to solve this, and I don't think we're going to solve it that way. It sounds like it's a good time for the show to end. I think like it has to end sometime, and like we got 19 episodes with a lot of like really good stuff. I don't want to create drama between broadcasters, and maybe in like a year I'll tell like my opinion on this. What would you do if you were me? I mean, like, it's not like if it's not your show and it's like I'm a small broadcaster, right? I'm, you know, it's a really hard position, honestly. I originally joined the show because I just wanted to like make a show that was like really fun for the viewers, and I wanted to be like kind of a supporting character to like a cast of people. But yeah, I just don't see that being realistic going forward, and don't really know like what the next steps are. Does Koibu agree with me? Yeah, Koibu and I are on the exact same page. Yeah. We've always been on the exact same page. Like when I originally had this problem, I messaged Koibu and like we talked offline, and like but just because Koibu and I view the same way doesn't mean that that's the right way. I think if you guys really look at my situation, you'd realize there isn't much I can do, right? Let's take a look at the options. I can leave the show. I can out what I really think, which puts a ton of drama into the field, and then pits me against other streamers, which is what you want, but that's a really shitty position to put me in, right? Or I can stay on, and then I can basically like deal with it. Like my position is like really difficult here. Why not play the game the same way they are? I don't know. I mean, I've just never been that kind of player. I probably would if I could, but I mean, I'm like a dude that like, I'm not saying this is like if anything, this like probably holds me back, right? This is the whole reason why I cannot I have the whole reason why I cannot like lead the party, right? Is because like in this, I said this to everybody a long time ago. Like I can't lead the party because I play the game in a certain way, and Koibu plays the game in that way too, right? Like we create consistent characters in a persistent world, and we go after like quests, like when we go do things. There's a lot of different ways to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I've tried really hard not to tell these guys like how they should do it, because I don't know if my way is any better than theirs. I think it is, but I can't. But that's just my own personal opinion. I think if this show looked more like Critical Role and less like Twitch streams where he's playing chess against Mr. Mutin, like I think it would be better, but I don't know. At this point, do you consider it too far gone, or it's still salvageable? I think that without, I've said like my opinion, without one of them leaving the show, it's not salvageable, is my view. I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, Koibu outright said it, right? Like, if Destiny and Mutin want to make their own D&D show with like two people that fight against each other, it's like their show. But like that's like how it goes. The Koibu and I have different expectations. Like we're running a different type of camp. Like we have just different ways of playing the game, and so it's like there's just like a conflict that's like kind of unresolvable. Yeah, dude. Here it is, man. I know there's gonna be like blah blah blah. It's good for your exposure. Blah blah blah. Good for your brand. Blah blah blah. Truth is, I think I want to leave the show. It might this might change, like if there's like something that we kind of fundamentally decide. But I think my position right now is I think I'm donezo. I just don't really want to do it. It takes up a huge amount of my time. I've got 2 full-time jobs, including streaming. It's not the way I really want to play the game. I just disagree with the direction this show is going. It doesn't make sense for my character to be there. I think with me leaving also means like the show will probably end too. If Lucas and Steven can convince me or want to convince me that they're going to work it out somehow, then I'll stay, but I don't think so. That's the worst business decision ever? Good. Good. Then that's how I know it's good. Immature choice. Bro, understand something right now. I have never made decisions based on whatever some arbitrary value is of, oh, I get more famous, or oh, I get more powerful, or oh, I get more viewers, or whatever. I don't give a fuck about that, right? I maximize for my personal happiness and the happiness of my community, who I know is core to me. Most of you people don't give a fuck about me, and I know that. So I'm not going to take your opinion seriously when you tell me that it's an immature choice or whatever to leave the show. Ultimately, you have to go for your own happiness. If I'm not having fun on the show, I'm not going to be there. That's all there is to it. Doesn't change the fact that I'm still friends with these people and that I like them and whatever, and I'm glad for doing it. But if I want to leave the show, that's my choice. Like the fact of the matter is that, like, I really heavily agree with the world that Koibu is trying to create. I don't think that this campaign is conducive to that, and I don't see why I should continue if I believe that. You can call me immature or whatever. That's fine. That's your right to do. But at the end of the day, what I wanted to do was make a show that was like enjoyable for viewers, and I can't do that I'm over it, dude. I've gotten so many negative comments, so much so much negativity overall from this show. Sorry if you don't like it, but I think that's gonna be I need to talk to Koibu one-on-one. Hopefully he has some time. But that's probably where I'm at right now. I think that a lot of people will get mad at me, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I think like the real people who are awesome in my community will understand that. Yeah. And for you guys that understand, I freaking love you, man. I'll still be here every day doing hard work and shit. But I think I might want off Mr. Toad's wild ride. Look, here's the deal, guys. I totally get if you're mad about it, and you have every right to be. You can like call me names, send me emails, whatever. I'm expecting all that shit. I totally get it. It's cool. At the end of the day, here's the deal, okay? Like, I want to play D&D in a cohesive world where we're all experiencing a quest, working together to do cool shit, and I want the viewers to enjoy that. If that's not the way this game is going to be played, then I gotta go, man. I totally understand if you're mad at me. I get it, okay? Like, yeah, like, unfollow, unsub, dislike, downvote, go to my YouTube channel, dislike every video, subscribe to PewDiePie, whatever you gotta do, okay? At the end of the day, we all gotta make our own decisions in life, and I think like that's the one I'm gonna make, okay? I understand it's not good for my brand. Okay, but if I wanted to do that, I'd just be leeching off Destiny's stream all the time anyway. I'd just be over there chatting with them all the time. I've never cared about that. Like, I care about creating something that's like authentic to me in a way that like, if I'm not positive, if I'm not bringing my best to the show because the mental energy of it is like so bad on me, how can I possibly do good by you guys? Why stay on a show that I just like, I don't agree with? Like, it's not, at the end of the day, it's not going to be authentic, which is all that matters.
Yeah, what's up, Devin?
Hey, man. Oh, hang on.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I walked away to cool off and chat with my wife for a little bit. I came back and heard your rant, and I couldn't agree more with you about personal happiness over like what random people in Twitch chat think is a good idea for your brand. Like, you're going to make the best product and the best experience if you're happy with what you're doing, and you are 100% on point with everything you've said thus far. I've been like constantly nodding in agreement with you.
Well, it feels bad, right? Because like this is I'm the smallest streamer, and it's exposing me to thousands of people, right? Lots of people have discovered the show, but or discovered me through GT&C. But yeah, like the reality is that it's just like, I mean, I know that you and I are on the same page, right? Like I feel
100%.
it. Yeah, I totally feel it. But it's like there's just no direction in or out of character that I can go. And like that entire show, I was just stuck like what would like it's a weird situation where it's like, are you forced into doing an out of character action because in character your only decisions are like just game ending, right? Like you would like Gerald would just leave, right? He's been through a lot. He's a level 7 wizard now. Like he would go like back to the queen and be like, "Hey, like, do you need any help?" Because he's been looking for that like bigger thing to do already, right? So he would like try to contribute in some way in the court, or there's any number of things that he could do. But he wouldn't stay with like these crazy people that are just murdering entire groups of people and like killing everyone they come across and shooting children in the head. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's a crazy thing, and better to end it right now at peak craziness than to like let the show continue and then sort of get lame, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's better to there's like a term about rock stars living fast and dying young and going out like a flame that's burning at candle that's burning at both ends or something. There's this is the we'll see if they can settle, but I kind of feel like the appropriate and best thing for the whole show and for all of us involved would be to call it here.
Yeah, and I feel like then the legacy becomes like, well, it was great for 19 episodes. It devolved into a shit show like everything does, and then that's it. And like that's not like a really bad thing, Like, that's not like a bad legacy to leave,
No,
Yeah,
it's great. It's fine. And if it leaves people wanting more, that's way better than leaving people being like, meh, it was good and then it got shitty.
Yeah. It's like, oh God, it's the 8th episode of it's basically like ending with The Walking Dead on like season 3 versus like it's still going in season 9.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like skipping the last few seasons of Dexter,
Yeah.
You just let it end at the right point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Okay. I mean, like, have you ever like dealt with anything like this as a DM? Because like the position I got to today was like, man, I just haven't even like dealt with this as a player. I don't even know where to go,
Once upon a time, when I was a young man in high school, I had a similar conflict with a fellow player and best friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I wanted a more serious campaign. He wanted a more silly campaign. We were constantly butting heads. It was the end of the school year. Summer break is right here. And we finally finished a campaign. And I'm going to DM the next one because we'd all switch off. And I'm like, well, let's try and do something a little bit more serious. And everyone goes off to their corners to make their character sheets. And he comes back to me. And he reads his character sheet to me. And I'm looking for a more serious campaign than what we did. And he's like a 7-foot-tall minotaur with a blue mohawk covered in 007 logos all over him. And for me, I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to play this. We're done for the day. And I didn't talk to him for the rest of the summer. And later, we made up and it was fine. We played D&D for years and years after that, and it was great. But like, this is the only thing that has ever come close to that. These two instances.
Yeah. And so like as a DM in that scenario in the last episode, you basically just had to like let it play out, right? Because like, what else can you do?
You got to run with it, man.
Yeah.
Like they were having fun. It was kind of funny, and I just fucking run with it. I know it's the end. I know there's no coming back from this. So let's just enjoy the last few precious moments of it. And yeah.
That sounds really good. I mean, I really appreciate the backup because I know like for the next like week or two, I'm just gonna get hell, like, but like at the end of the day, I've always thought that staying authentic to yourself is more important than like any sort of like material gain you get from something. And like, I guess this is just putting that into practice again.
Hands down. Otherwise, like, if you were just here for the fame and the popularity and the money, you would probably have gone into like finance or banking, or you'd be an accountant, because you're going to make way more money being an accountant than you are going to be a streamer 99% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm nothing if I don't stay to my principles, and it's really important to remember that. And thank you for being the one person that backs me up on that. I really appreciate it.
Personal integrity all the way, man. Personal integrity all the way.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, and I also respect you too, because you are like creating this world and like creating this consistent this consistent storyline. I know, like, we had just talked about it, like we talked about how to do a story arc, and like we had almost got there, but it just seems like the it's like what happens when the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, type of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, but I think it'll be great. I think if GT&C ends, then there's a possibility that something similar gets picked up, or maybe it just ends and that gives us opportunities to do new projects. There's
for sure.
There's plenty of D&D out there to be done.
That's true. Plenty of people that want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and perhaps it's not the last story.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to pop in and give you a little moral support because it seemed like people were clawing at you.
Yeah,
So-
they were. Yeah, thanks, man. It means a lot to me. It really does.
Stay strong.
I
I'm
will,
gonna take
man.
off.
Thanks, you, dude. I really appreciate it. Love you much, man.
Love you. Bye.
Take care. That was really good. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna go home. Email me. Come into my stream. I'm just gonna like the scene in Hackers where Angelina Jolie meditates and just like gets ready for it. I'm ready for it, dude. Next 5 days, you hate me, toss me those emails, talk to me on Discord, come at me. I understand. I totally get it. I'm done with the show. I'm not coming back. That's the end of GT&C for me. It's been an awesome, awesome run, and I love you guys. I will still be here streaming for you every day at 9 a.m. PST, and I will be strong, and that's it, man. I really, really loved being a part of the show, and it's fucking awesome. It was super, super cool to do. Gerald was an absolute pleasure to play, a super unique character, and maybe if you like D&D, it's not the absolute last that you've heard of me. Who knows? But yeah, if you want to talk to me more, you can join my Discord. I'm not even like, if you want to say like negative stuff, I'm ready for it. Like I totally get it. Constructive criticism or just criticism, whatever. I know I'm going to get a lot of it over the next week and stuff. I totally understand. And I get it. I totally get it. All I can hope for and all I can say is like, I really hope that you guys enjoyed the show and you had a great time. And I'll still be here. You know, I'll still be around. And yeah, man, this was a great time. We're ending it on a great note, I think. So thank you guys very much. Yeah, if you guys like want to know what happens with Gerald, you know, Gerald is gonna wander off, go into his own adventure, and be a part of the Arcadia world still. And maybe he'll come back, or maybe you won't hear the last of him. Thank you. That's all I have to say. I'm super, super grateful that a streamer as small as me got the opportunity to be with such big personalities and be a part of something really cool.